pointed toward an old brown Toyota Camry. Bullet holes but no body. That's local. Joaquin took in the scene, assessing the possibilities. It was his job to tell the story in a single image. Not easy when it was dark and all he had to work with were bystanders, police tape, and squad cars. A man he recognized as Detective Wu stepped out of the apartment. "Detective Wu, can I ask you a few questions?" Kate hurried off to do her job, leaving Joaquin to do his. He walked out into the street, looking for an angle that captured the scene with its tension and unknowns. The apartment with its open door, the barricade tape, bystanders, and at least a portion of a police cruiser. He adjusted the camera's ISO to 1600, snapped a few shots, then checked to see how they'd turned out. The exposure was okay, but the image felt static. A man might have lost his life here tonight. Neighbors, friends, and family were surely desperate and afraid for him. Joaquin could do better. He shifted a few feet to his left, reworking the composition in his mind, then dropped to one knee and raised the camera again. Someone stepped in front of his lens. "Do you know what's going on?" a woman asked. He lowered the camera and found himself looking up into a pair of big, angry blue eyes, set in a strikingly beautiful face. High cheekbones, a little upturned nose, a full mouth. "I'm with the Denver Independent." "Did something happen to Andy?" Red hair ruffled in the wind. Joaquin got to his feet. "You know the guy who lives in that apartment?" "Please answer my question." Her abruptness surprised Joaquin, but he could see the fear in her eyes. It wasn't the first time someone had given him shit while he'd been on the job. People hated the media, until the moment they needed something. "There's nothing official yet. A neighbor heard gunshots and found the door open, but no one at home. He thinks he saw bullet holes and shell casings in the shower stall. They're calling it a possible homicide." "I'm sorry." The anger on her face melted into worry. "Thanks." She turned away from him, walked up to the barricade tape, and stood there watching, delicate fingers from one hand raised to her lips, distress obvious on her face. Beyond her, a member of the crime scene investigation team stepped out onto the porch and began to dust for prints. Joaquin saw his shot. He dropped to his knee once more, focused on the woman, letting the CSI guy blur in the background, blue and red light from the police overheads bouncing off the apartment's windows, yellow tape cutting through the center. He took a dozen shots, checked them, then shot a few more to be confident he'd gotten it. He stood, scrolled through the images, and found a few that would work. Now all he needed was the woman's name. He walked up to her, reluctant to intrude into her personal space when she was clearly upset. "Hey, I'm really sorry. I hope this is all a big misunderstanding and they find your friend safe and sound." Stranger things had happened. She didn't bother to look at him. "Thanks. Can I get your name?" Her head snapped around, surprise and fury on her face. "Did you photograph me? I didn't give you permission to do that." "I don't need permission. You're on a public street, so—" "God, I hate photojournalists. You show up at the scene of other people's misery looking for the shot that will land your name on the front page. You don't really care what's happening to people." "Whoa! You don't know how I feel or what I'm thinking." Joaquin knew she was upset, but that didn't mean he had to take this. "It's my job to report news. You can give me your name or not, but the photo will still run." She looked as if she were about to tell him to go to hell. Then the anger seemed to drain from her. "Mia Starr. Starr." Joaquin jotted that down in his notebook. "Thanks, Miss Starr. Despite what you think, I am sorry that—" "It was her! I saw her walk up to Annie's door just a few hours ago." A shout interrupted Joaquin, and he looked over to see a man in jeans and a t-shirt, the upstairs neighbor, standing next to a cop, his finger pointed at Miss Starr. "She's the one! I heard him shouting at her." Every head on the street turned Mia's way. She raised her chin. "Yes, I was here." The police officer walked toward her and raised the barricade tape. "Ma'am, could we ask you a few questions?" Mia had nothing to hide.